was to trick you.
I told you.
Where are you going? So, there's nothing to follow.
Come on.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
He's going to appear again as a sign.
Where's he gone?
He's got something to tell me.
Where's it?
He knows you're here. Come on. Go up the steps. You can do it. Come on.
You're getting stronger. You're getting stronger.
It's already disappeared.
Nothing lives here, not even you. It's in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind.
There he was. The lone figure of a boy. Sword play under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him. The gloom lifted. And for the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
You can see him.
There he is.
Come on, you have to keep doing
Dillian
it.
is waiting. Keep on going.
Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day, Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
It's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. Do you really want it's real?
You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick.
You're deluded.
Where are you going?
Where is she going?
What is she following?
You can't even fight. It's just deception.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one.
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who's supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are.
You killed him.
But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy
They
you.
won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Can you see him?
You want to believe it.
Is he
It's
there?
not real.
Is he there?
You're alone in these mountains.
Is that Dillian?
Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree.
What's he trying to tell you?
He's waiting for you by the tree.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens. As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him, But their blood is weak, corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands, where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard.
Go to the shards.
What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you.
Find it.
The metal, the runes.
You need that sword.
Go to the shard.
Find the shards. Where is it?
Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place.
Where are we? Where is she? It feels wrong.
Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
Senua, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Hervor, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember?
He's gone.
Where's he gone?
Where's he gone?
How did you let him go again?
You let him leave.
He disappeared
How
again.
could you?
Find him.
You have to find him.
This is your mission. Find him.
You have to use everything you have and find him. Get him back.
He was just there. How could you lose him? How could she lose him?
How could she?
Find him.
There he is. Dillian.
There he is.
Finally.
You found him.
What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me? Just wait there. I'll find you.
What's happened to him?
I'll find him.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Nothing. Was that voices?
Is that his voice or the voice of the dead?
Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you
Where is
hear him?
he? Where is he?
He sounds like he's getting further away.
Have you lost him?
Herver disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader.
Over this way.
When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist. The flames I passed through were real enough. Damn the Northmen to hell.
I can hear him.
Within the burial mound, Herver calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his sword. She says that it is not seemly for the dead in their grave mounds to bear valuable weapons. Her father answers with words of warning. You go to your doom. Baleful runes surround you. You have gone mad. You have lost your mind. Your thoughts are confused. It is dangerous to wake the dead. Like I said, she reminds me of you.
You're nearly there.
Dillian's voice.
It's him. He's going to save you.
Find the voice.
Find him.
Find another way. It's not working.
You'll have to use your mind. Where can you go?
You're failing. Find
Think.
another way.
Think.
Focus.
It's not him.
It's not him.
We told you. We told you it was a trick.
voice doesn't sound like Dillian
What's happening? It's not him, it can't be.
What's that sound? The voice is changing.
What? That's not Dillian.
That doesn't sound like Dillian.
It sounds like something more dangerous.
Something is here. Something is in the labyrinth with you.
Something evil. You don't recognize it?
Don't doubt yourself, you'll never find it.
She doesn't recognize it.
Yes, you do. You know where you are.
She doesn't.
Listen for his voice. Listen.
Dillian? Where are
Listen
you?
for his voice.
Dillian? She can't hear it.
Does everything look the same?
Looks the same.
Something's different. Look for clues.
That's it.
What's different?
There's a clue.
Light the torch.
Light it.
Look for the torch. Light it.
Help you. It'll help you see.
Where are we?
She has no idea.
We're going round in circles.
You have fallen ill.
You think that sound is Dillian's voice? It's a trap.
You walked right into their hands.
They have you right where they want you.
How could you?
You think that voice is Dillian's?
It's not.
It's beckoning you to your death. Quiet. He wants me to find him. I'm lost without him. What's in there?
What is it?
A secret room. That voice.
How do you get it?
It's not Dillian.
There's no way.
Find a way.
There has to be a way.
Find a way.
There's always a way.
Don't stop now. Don't give up now. Find a way.
You're too close to stop.
It's in there.
If only we could see life through each other's eyes, there would be no hatred. We only hate what we fear. We only fear what we cannot see. Your father, and I will keep on trying, but his gods will not let him avert his gaze. But if he could, he would know not to turn his anger on us. If only we could see life through each other's eyes, there would be no hatred. We only hate what we fear. We only fear what we cannot see. Your father, and I will keep on trying, but his gods will not let him avert his gaze. But if he could, he would know not to turn his anger on us.
Cillian wants me to face my fears.
Father? I'm leaving. I've decided. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through
No,
you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. In my own way.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I met a boy.
Boy.
The chief had some.
No.
He said he could help me.
It's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal.
Yes.
No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you,
No!
they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand. You're going nowhere.
No.
You will not defy the gods. Come, child, take my hand. Come. Senua.
I am leaving!
You cannot escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
It's done.
You did it.
But there's more.
Keep going.
There's more.
You're tired, but you have to keep going.
There's still more.
There's always more to do.
It's not going to be easy.
Can you do another one? It's too much.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
is broken.
There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Senua? What does it see?
Get closer.
Focus. Where are we?
What is this?
It's the same.
Different.
It's another world.
Another world.
It's lighter.
It's nicer. I like it here. Can we stay?
Let's stay here.
I like the way it's safe here. It's calm here.
It's light here.
It's nice.
The bridge.
It's not broken.
It's fixed.
What happened?
The bridge is fixed.
Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Baldur. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Baldur dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Baldur's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her sons. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
You'll find it. It's the secret.
Open the gate.
She can't.
Open the gate.
It's locked. Try harder. She can't. The gate. She can't. She can't. She will. She'll find a way. She always finds a way. Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe.
Dillian.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through.
He disappears.
Dillian, don't lose him.
Way too many times.
Always let him disappear.
Dillian, there he is.
Quick.
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
the dark.
The dark world.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light.
You can't.
Narrow dividing lines of our own
Not in
making.
this way.
Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
Do you remember the smell of his neck? Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way he felt?
Do you remember how he made you feel? He didn't believe that she was cursed.
He saved you when everyone else turned their backs.
Senua, you've got it.
Why isn't he here?
He's gone.
He's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
He's in the other world.
The dark world.
Without you.
Your curse has claimed Dillian.
Poor Dillian. He didn't know he was gone.
There he is. Where are you taking me?
He's up there.
How do you get up there?
There's a way. There is a way up there.
Find the way.
She can do it.
You're nearly there. Just find the way.
Nobody will ever give you
It's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
You're cursed. Was it worth it?
You're still alive and Dillian's dead. He doesn't deserve to be dead.
How does that make you feel?
You kill the things you love with your curse.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
She should have listened to him. Why didn't she listen to him? She thought she could defy him. He led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Why didn't you listen to him?
His love has tortured you and it tortures you. Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves. She destroys the things she loves. He was the only one
He loved her so much. Do you remember the smell of his neck? Dillian didn't believe in the curse. Dillian believed in you. He was the only one that really loved her. He did love her.
Remember Dillian?
Do you remember?
Do you remember the sound of his voice?
Do you think she remembers him? Believe in you.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, "Here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands."
He led you astray.
And Húð throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Húð is slain.
Your curse has claimed Dillion.
Poor Dillion. He didn't know. He was kind.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband. The pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
You have blood on your hands.
You are guilty.
Was it worth it?
Dillion doesn't know who killed him, but we do.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillion. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillion,
What if they're all about
her
wasting
future.
time, just delaying minute by minute by
Two realities tearing at her soul.
She thinks she's doing. You're special. She thinks she
They mean nothing.
being special.
Waste of time.
Could all be a waste of her time.
What if the gods are just
Playing,
What if the gods are laughing at her?
messing with her.
It wouldn't be
mind.
this.
Be the first time. Do you even remember?
His love.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has.
Do you remember
The Northmen
meeting
say
him
that the
in
giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
He was the only one she could trust.
Could she trust him? Do you remember what love feels like? He's the reason she keeps fighting. Do you even remember? His love is guiding them. Dillian saved you from them. What does it feel like to be in love? You have no chance ever again. Curse strangled you just like it strangled him. She thought that she knew best. She thought she had light within her. She is pure darkness. Wasting your time.
Have no time for this. Speed up.
These traps you. It's okay. You
Couldn't say the trials to distract you.
They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you fall.
What if these trials mean nothing?
Laughing at you.
What if they take you no closer to Dillian?
That's Dillian, and you're letting this get in the way.
What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak?
Kill the things that are most precious to you.
Dillian didn't deserve this. What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down, and turned these bonds to iron, and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face, so that its venom would drip onto him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of earthquakes. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, then so must we.
You're cursed. Was it worth it? Do you know? Was it worth it?
You're still alive and Dillian's dead. He doesn't deserve to be dead.
How does that make you feel? You Dillian doesn't know who killed him. It's not safe. You're going to fall.
Dillian never much cared for the underworld,
You're going to fall.
and looked
okay?
dimly
No,
upon
she's
the
not.
druids,
She's not
like her
She's
father,
strong.
Senua.
Steady, she can do it. You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see,
Very careful.
and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, glad to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Go to him. Go to him. That's it.
Quicker,
Quicker.
quicker.
Be quick. Be quick. Be careful. Breathe. There he is. Be careful.
Go to him. Go to him.
That's it. Quicker.
Quicker.
Be very, very careful.
You've come this far, don't let him slip away.
It's a narrow bridge. And there's a long way to fall. It's not safe. You're going to fall.
You're going to fall, careful.
No, she's not. She's not going to fall. She's strong. She's steady. She can do it. You can do it, Senua. Where's he gone? It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to the water. He's gone to the water. He's drowned.
Senua. Your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you and only you can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
What if this is pointless? What if you're wrong? What if this has nothing to do with the sword?
What if we're wrong?
The sword will never be yours.
What if this is the end?
It's just a trick. It's just a pointless test.
You've been fooled before, you could be fooled again.
You're being tested.
You don't know.
It's just their game for you.
You never know which way it's going to go.